This Bitcoin indicator is showing massive bullish momentum. Guys, welcome to Empire Trading Academy. Hit that subscribe, hit the like, and let's get into this. All right, guys. So first we're going to break down the on-chain metrics, and then we're going to get it into the charts. All right. Right now, we've been fluctuating a little bit right now between 51,000 and 47,000. We've kind of just been in that range. Not really, bulls not taking over, bears not taking over, right? Kind of a little bit of indecision, and we've just been getting this tracking right in here, okay? Now, look at the on-chain metrics to see exactly what is going on behind the scenes on the wallets and on exchanges to see if we can get a better picture of whether or not we are going to see immediate upside or immediate downside. All right, guys, first thing we're going to look at is the addresses with balances, okay? So we're going to look at the number of these addresses, whether they're increasing or decreasing. And our first one is all wallets that hold at least 10 Bitcoin. Okay, so you're looking at about, I believe, $500,000 when you're looking at 10 Bitcoin. So this is 10 Bitcoin or more. And lately, even with our slight downtrend or just a consolidation or range, we have an increase in these wallets. Okay, obviously this is generally bullish. Definitely bullish with this continuation of an uptrend of these increases of this wallet size. Okay, so this is definitely continuing the bullish momentum. Right, nothing to be concerned about here. Very positive, very bullish. Okay, our next one, we're going to go up. We're going to go up to all wallet sizes with at least 100 Bitcoin. Okay, now you're looking at about just underneath at least 5 million US dollars. Okay, and since here we had a decrease, right? We were selling off pretty much even into this run up, right? Selling off. Then once we had basically a pullback, right? It seemed like they were this wallet size was looking for some sort of a pullback. Okay, we got that pullback at a support or a previous resistance, and then we've just seen continued upside from there. Again, sell off to take some profits, right? But then we just continued that uptrend, and again we had another uptick recently, even with this consolidation that we've been having, and a little bit of weakness, I would say, in price action, but just very short term. However, our on-chain, especially for 100 Bitcoin or more, up direction, we're continuing that uptrend. Okay, next, 1,000 Bitcoin or more. Okay, so now we're really starting to get into some big money. Now, general downtrend, okay, since this accumulation phase that we've had, okay, we've recently broken out of that, but in the accumulation phase that we had after the big sell-off, okay, we've been in a general downtrend slightly, okay, but we do have an increase or an uptick recently. Okay, so that has been positive, and we haven't broken beneath this, let's say, this support right here of say roughly 2,100 wallets. Okay, and so we haven't broken below that, and we continue to slightly move up on there. So this is definitely one we want to keep an eye out on. Are they going to be selling, or are they going to be increasing their positions? Okay, that's 1,000. And then we have anything above 10,000 Bitcoin or more. So these are our biggest whales, okay? They've been trading in this range, really, and with this downtick, some selling at this point, okay? So right now, we're right at 85, about 85 of these wallets, okay? And however, we don't see any massive drop-off. Obviously, they're taking some profits. Okay, in my opinion, long-term holders are a bigger indication of where we are in the market, as opposed to whales. Obviously, whales are going to make the price action fluctuate more in the short term. Okay, but long-term holders, in my opinion, is a bigger indication of where we are in the cycle. So we do have a downtick here. Okay. So we do want to keep an eye out on this. I'll say it again toward the end of this video, but this is not a place to go long. Okay, I said that on the TikTok video, Instagram video. This is definitely not a place you want to go long. Bigger wallet sizes are still accumulating, okay? But if you're looking for an entry point, this is definitely not it. This is not the most ideal entry position. Okay? At least a pullback to 44 or 42, that would be a better position to go long, or we go ahead and break above 51 or 52, and that is then a good indication of going long. Okay, this is very indecisive now, and we have a downtick in the whales. Okay, so we'll continue to keep an eye out on that. Every single time we get to this about 86, right? Those 86 levels, we start to sell off. So I would love to see an increase in whales above that 86 wallet size. Okay, that's good for that, guys. Let's get on to net position changes on exchanges. Okay, this is big. So green, you're going to be going on to exchanges with the intent to sell. Red is coming off of exchanges. Okay, so at our top, right, we were trading in this range, and we were still in a healthy range at the top. Okay, if we looked at the whales then, when they were selling, we would know that we should have gotten out of our long positions because they were selling big time, right? And they were selling relatively early on, and this was retail traders keeping this afloat, and obviously no whales involved, and so there was weakness and we sold off. But red here, okay, off of exchanges generally, and then you had, even once we failed to make a higher high, remember this gray is price action, we had a new high, right? Pull back, higher low, and then we had a higher high, right? We pulled back. This was our first lower low, and this was our first lower high. Okay, so as soon as traders saw that, that's when you had that influx of wallets coming out of wallets, going on to exchanges and selling. And we basically only had less than a month, right, to get out of your positions. And then we had that massive sell-off. And then we just saw that continue. Tons onto exchanges, right? And then once we got this little bit of consolidation after we sold off in this accumulation phase, then we started to decrease onto exchanges. Okay, and the net position change started to decrease from exchanges. Okay, and then now it started coming back into wallets. Right, not so much on exchanges, more into wallets, and we kept continuing to get that, right. And what do you have? Then we had our big run up here. Okay, and again, even as we continue to run up, people, for the most part, were not looking to take profit. Right? This was a very, very healthy sign. And so they continued to come off of exchanges, little bit of selling, then off of exchanges more. Now, recently here, we've less inflow, or we'll say outflow of exchanges, right? We've pulled back a little bit here, but still very, very much the majority is onto exchanges, or off of exchanges into wallets, not looking to sell. So this very, very healthy as well. One thing I do want to pull up, guys, is this right here. So this is net position changes with hodlers. Okay, and this is their positions, not on exchanges, but just increasing their positions. Okay, and this is hodlers. Now, most recently, massive spike. Okay, so hodlers are increasing their positions. Okay, remember, this has nothing to do with exchanges. This is increasing their wallet sizes, increasing their Bitcoin positions. So hodlers, long-term holders, massive spike up, increasing their position at this level. This is huge, guys. This is huge. And if we look right here, okay, their net position, they're increasing their position here in the green. Okay, this is the very beginning of the bull run. Okay, so creating a floor. Then they started to sell off, right? As we made our way up here, selling off, And then right here, they started to build their positions again at these very lows, right? Or our recent lows at the $30,000 level, right? And they started to increase again. And then we had this sell-off here, decided to take some profits. And what are they doing again? They're starting to increase their positions again. And so we create a floor here, run up. They create a floor here, run up. They're again creating a floor here, which could give us a very good indication that we're about to see upside. Okay, this to me is a massive indicator that we are going to continue to see upside in the short term and long term as well, obviously. But this is creating this floor at the $50,000 level. And if you go back, you can go onto TikTok, Instagram, look at the videos that I've put up, is that these long-term holders, more so than whales, are creating, because long-term holders are just that, long-term holders. Whales are not looking to hold long-term. And so they make the price in the short term fluctuate more, but they don't have as in terms of a cycle and marking out where cycle bottoms and tops are, they don't have as big of an impact as the long-term holders. And that's exactly what we're seeing here. And so $50,000 level, in one of my videos before, I talked about how these long-term holders are creating these floors and these supports. Okay, so this is a very, very good indication of what's going on, guys. One more on-chain data. This is just something that I saw that kind of brought out one of the other metrics on Glassnode, and this is just an accumulation trend. Okay, so who is accumulating? This top graph, less than 1 Bitcoin. Okay, these are small retailers. This is between 1,000 and 10,000 Bitcoin, much bigger. I did a previous video where we had these bigger whales accumulating, right? But then more recently we had this pullback. Okay, and so we wanted to see what was going to happen there. Retail traders continuing to accumulate. All right, so that's obviously that's good, but retail traders are always going to lag behind the bigger wallets. Now, had that pullback, but most recently, what do we have? We have now continued buying. We almost have this range, right? That's going up. We have here this data point, this data point. So we're creating that ascending support, and then we have a something of it. It looks almost like an expanding wedge, but something of a range here. But we pulled back, but now they start buying again. Okay, so this again is very bullish, a very good indication that they're not continuing to sell off and that they are actually starting to accumulate again. So that's massive. All right, guys. Now let's look at what's going on the charts. Okay, so first and foremost, we did over the weekend, we did fail to make a higher high. Okay, so we continued to make high, low, higher high, higher low, higher high. We pulled back to a lower low. Okay, but perfectly fine. That was a relatively major support. Okay, and healthy, so we could continue this run up. Pull back, and then we made a higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high. This, you could argue that was a lower high. I would say it was even. Pulled back again to the 50%, right at 44,000. But this was not a lower low. And then we put in a higher high, higher low, higher high. Okay, but this past weekend we did put in a higher low, right? But we failed to put in a higher high on this. Okay, right now we're still at a higher low, so we really want to keep an eye on what's going on here. Okay, remember, in my opinion, guys, on-chain data is always going to give the substance of the picture of what's really going on between the trading, but we can definitely, especially with short-term trades, we definitely want to look at our TA, and we want to look at our patterns that are forming on the charts in order to trade short-term. So again, higher low we put in. We're maintaining the 78% fib extension level, okay, which is also a major support at 48,000. And remember, it's just an area, right? If we drop down to 47.5, if we drop down to 47.2, that's still this same support area. Okay, holding the 200-day simple moving average. Obviously, we're still holding the 200. So those are all good things. The only things that are making me a little bit nervous in the immediate future and in the short term, very little volume. Okay, and then we do have, throughout this run up, we do have negative divergence, both on the MACD and on our RSI. Okay, so the strength of this move is weakening. Okay, and we can see it in the volume as well. Not very much volume, but keep in mind, keep an eye, continue to follow us, keep you up to date on all the on-chain data to show you exactly what's going on behind the scenes. All right, guys. So this is big. Bitcoin is really it's in a crucial spot right now, but there is nothing that is screaming this is a bull trap or this is a false run up. Okay, guys. I fully still believe we're in this bull run, this continued bull run, this second half of the bull run. We're getting some cool off time right now before we go ahead and break 51, 52, and then start to see some really big gains, guys. And that's when the FOMOing in is going to start to happen. After that 52. Remember, keep in mind, bears have, for the majority, have most likely not come back in yet. Okay, everybody who was very bearish, thinking that we were going to break the 30,000 or $29,000 level, it is very, very rare and unlikely that they have gotten back in to go long on a halfway longer term position. Right? Sure, they've been trading, but after that $52,000 level, that is when you're going to really start to see people FOMOing in, the volume really start to come back in. And so those are the things that we want to look for. And we want to continue to look at these on-chain metrics, guys. All right, so if you haven't already, hit that subscribe, hit the like, guys. I appreciate you watching, and we'll see you in the next video.